Hey, welcome back to Some Dude in AI. So we're going to continue doing some build in public. And work with Codex voice mode as we go along. So this will be our second time building in Codex voice mode, which hasn't quite replaced WhisperFlow. I use WhisperFlow on my phone, and I use WhisperFlow for like any field that I fill out, like anywhere on the internet or computer or anything like that. But I've been using Codec voice mode the last couple sessions while working on my computer. But let's get started with all of that. All right, Codex, can you hear me? Hi, Codex,
Yep,
can you hear me?
I hear you clearly. Go ahead.
Oh, there we go. Sorry, we had a little bit of lag there to start. So I have got you going during a screen recording that I'm going to turn into a YouTube video. So I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. And
Got it. Thanks for the heads up.
yeah, no worries. And we're going to work on the Some Dude in AI repo.
Mm-hmm. Sure. What do you want to do with it?
All right. So yeah, in that repo, I'm going to have you work. You're the command center. So I'm going to have you sub out all this work to other sessions and agents. And I expect you to check, quality control that work and present me the finished products. But go ahead
Okay.
and a browser here within Codex, open up our website, somedudeandai.com, please.
Got it. I'll bring that up.
And y'all have to excuse me. I've got a tingle in my throat that I'm battling.
No worries.
Okay. So while Codex is bringing that up, what I kind of wanted to do today was add a few items to our list. There you go. Look at Codex just populated that for us. So let's minimize this piece so it gets a little bit bigger. But I wanted to add a few things to the workbench. I haven't got any comments because basically nobody's watching this yet, but hopefully you all start showing up soon. So like, subscribe, and share when you do show up, please. But we're going to add a few things to the workbench, and then I figured we'd build a fun, quick little app. We'll see if it turns out quick. Nothing's ever quick, but there's, getting into football season. I think it'd be fun to build maybe an NFL app that is like there's two things I always like to do going into football season. I like to look over the schedule of a team, my favorite team, which for me is the Denver Broncos. Go Broncos. God bless Bo Nix. But also, so I'd like to go down that schedule and just kind of guess wins, losses, and see what the schedule comes up to. But I also like to, I do it at least once a year. I usually do it in my head, and it's just verbally talking with somebody in like a conversation. But I like to restructure or reorder the NFL because I feel like their divisions and like teams where they are physically in the country just don't match up with the divisions that they should be in based on how the divisions are named. And I think a lot of people do that. So I figured we build a fun app that allows you to do both. Kind of makes it fun and a little bit easier. But let's bring Codex back into it. Hey, Codex.
Hey, what would you like to pick up on?
So let's work on our draft queue. So I imagine that you're able to see the Some Dude and AI website, right? The homepage where the draft queue is on the workbench. We've got 1 through 5 all to be determined.
Let me check the workbench and the current queue.
Yep. So while you're checking that, I'm going to list off a few of the apps, and I'll try to do the best to think the order that I want to build them in, or web apps or things that I want to work on the site. not including today because we're going to try to one shot or as close as we can to one shot a fun little web app. But and so that won't be included on the list, but the list will be for future shows moving forward. And um, there's a few things that I've been wanting to do or work on. And so a couple of the projects that I've actively got going on that I would like to redo are my Major League Baseball Kalshi kind of watch list or uh, watch list tool, basically that is helping me find matchups that give me a higher probability of winning on Kalshi futures on MLB matchups.
Okay, I'm
So
seeing 5 empty draft slots, so we can shape them around what you want. Do you want those first 5 to focus on content for the YouTube channel, useful AI tools, or a mix of both?
it's just going to be whatever. So, did you catch what I was just talking about though?
Checking. One sec. Yes, I got it. Future shows only, and your first candidate is a rebuilt MLB Kalshi watch list that surfaces stronger probability matchups for MLB futures.
Yep, we learned a lot doing the first one around, and so I think we can improve upon it and put it on here. And then the second one is I want to work on is a YouTube video kind of workflow or assistant. So like maybe our own internal YouTube video assistant, and we have one of those too that I've been using on the back end that I would like to bring out to the light and put on here. And it essentially would be uploading video clips that can be up to an hour in 1080p, and the AI tool would transcribe, build a description for the video, and then give you 5 good options for a title. And then from there, would have instructions in the rest of the workflow to work with Codex on building out the rest of the video, like the thumbnails and things like that.
Got it. Holding that structure in mind. Okay, I got your second idea captured, an internal YouTube video assistant that takes long clips, transcribes, drafts a description, suggests 5 titles, then guides the remaining Codex steps for thumbnails and finishing.
Yep. And it can be up to an hour. And we feed it the video directly, the raw video. So it could be like a 2 minute video, could be a 60-minute video at 1080p. But yep, that's for down the road. And it's a tool that greatly helped me with this channel. And another one, which number 3, I would say I want to call the rabbit hole. And it's an idea that I kind of played around with when I was using Claude. But I want to build a web app that uses like an RSS feed to kind of customize my own YouTube feed. So that way I'm not getting the algorithm stuff, and I'm not getting, the people that I like to follow and need to follow for what I'm doing for my rabbit hole are not being like shadow banned for me or anything like that. So, every time they put out a video, it's going to be right there in there. But we can get into more detail on that.
Checking. Okay, logged. Draft 3 is the rabbit hole, a personal RSS powered feed that pulls every new upload from your chosen YouTube sources, independent of recommendations.
Yep. And then the number 4 thing I think we should really build out is we need to do some sort of blog or I don't know, articles or something for the site. Like all these things that we're going to build, we should follow up with a blog, and we should make it easy for um, folks to kind of send their AIs our way using an MCP or API or however do we determine to do it. So that way they can send their version of Codex or Cloud or whatever they're using, and they can run through our content and what we've built, and they don't have to start from scratch. And I don't know, gives them a little bit of a playbook.
Looking at that. Got it. I'd added number 4 as a build journal and AI playbook with articles plus an MCP or API surface so other AIs can use it.
Yep, that will be it. And so let's do those 4 now. The order may change, but yeah, go ahead and have another session and agent update the homepage on the workbench, please.
Got it. One sec. The photo drafts are finalized. I'm handing the homepage update to a dedicated worker. Then I'll check the live results before we move on.
Awesome. Okay. Now, while you have them working on that and you're kind of finishing up, so on one of our to be determined cards here in on the homepage, let's use one of them up and let's do a fun one shot app. The football season's coming up. I'm a huge fan of the NFL, watch a lot of games. Live in Jacksonville, so root for the Jaguars, but born and raised in Denver, so the Broncos are like my main team. But there's a few things I like to do every year that it would be fun to build a web app around. And the first is taking an NFL's team schedule, like the Broncos or the Jaguars, and just going down, looking at it, and do win loss and coming up with what I think their end record will be. And so that could be a little fun thing to where maybe there's a drop down arrow or something. You select the team, it pops up the schedule in our app, and then you can do W or L's and kind of go from there on that.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Codex. Sorry, I had to pause the video real quick. My Roomba started launching and it was about to get noisy in here, so I had to send it home. But that last one is not for our workbench draft queue. We're going to use one of our to be determined slot cards on the homepage itself. The main table, and we're going to try to one shot this app right here and now.
Got it. Checking that now.
Yep. And so I'm not done yet, and I'm going to have you spin up a whole session and agent to work on that, and that agent can use sub agents and however. But I gave you the details on how I want the first part of the app. So I'm not sure how the user interface will work, but there's going to be two things. So A is that schedule thing. You pick your team, and then you can kind of go through and fantasize what you think that the win loss record will be. And the other one is I want a map of the United States with the 32 NFL cities with and the team name kind of on the team names on the map. And the whole point of this one is that it's something I do every year, like usually every year, but in my head or just with friends talking, I try to reorder how the division layouts and what teams are in what divisions because I feel like their current order just doesn't make sense. And so it's just a fun little thing to try to fit everything into where you think you can get the perfect division layout of the NFL teams. And I'd like the NFL map to it just be a black background or the dark blue background, just like we do our website here, and then use the orange and blue colors on our website. And just the map should just be outlines, just a clean outline. We don't have to outline it every individual state, but it should just show where the cities are and what teams are there. And then maybe to the side or however you want to show it, but the list of the divisions of the 32 teams, and then we can kind of reorder them, and maybe as you reorder them, a boundary around each division kind of shows up. So it kind of will physically build a line, a regional line on the map around the division as you try to fix it to where all the divisions are kind of self-contained in the right areas and regionals. So for example, the NFC East, you've got the New York Giants, but you also got the Dallas Cowboys. How in the heck are the Dallas Cowboys in the NFC East? I know there's a lot of history and things go like that, but they're not an East team. So just that kind of gives an example. So what questions do you have for me on trying to one shot that app? And it should just be a sub page to this website that anybody can go to, click on, and have fun playing with it.
On it. The app scope is clear, so I'm passing the build to a dedicated worker using the current 2026 season as the default with the site's dark orange and blue look.
Awesome. I'm going to let you do your thing. I'm going to let you work with those agents and get all that done. Make sure you double check their work. I'm going to note that it's 12:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time here. And I just want to see how long it takes you to kind of one shot this, and let's see the quality level of the product that comes back after the one shot. So it'll be a little fun experiment too. And then I will stop the recording until you tell me done, and then we will come back on and see what you've created.
Got it. Checking that now. The one-shot build is underway, and I'll check the finished result myself before I call it done.
All right. And then don't forget that you still have that other agent working on the draft queue, so they can um, push that to be live at any point, on the homepage once they've got those 4 items for that list.
Got it. Checking on that too.
Okay. I'm going to turn off the video. We'll see you in a little bit. Have fun building.
The homepage key worker has the green light to publish once their checks pass, and I'm keeping that deployment separate from the app review.
Perfect. All right. So I just wanted to, let me double check, make sure that we're recording. Yep. So everything's still being worked on. It's looks like most of the NFL app that we were building is there. So it's doing quality control checks, but also Codex finished up our on the workbench stuff as well. So our now building is a little bit out of date because we were building like the main homepage last time. But we're trying to do a one-shot thing right now. So I don't know if we'll change that or not because, well, I mean, it might be, I got to figure out which one of these I want to build first, but we'll kind of get there. We're kind of winging a prayer. But just wanted to check in, show that there's been great progress. I haven't talked to Codex since, I last signed off, but it's still building, and now it's 12:54. I think it was 12:34 when we started, so it's been about 20 minutes. But I'll go ahead and pause the recording and come back here again in just a minute. Okay, it's 1:11 p.m. and Codex just kind of finished. Already, I could tell it altered our homepage here. I'm not going to talk to Codex just now on all of this because, I wanted to go over it with y'all. I see they added the season division lab, but they removed our animations and our lists over here. So that's kind of a bummer. So I'll have to ask what happened with that and make sure that gets fixed. But let's click in to our season and division lab. We'll probably rename this NFL season and division lab and remove that 04. Be cool if we could get the NFL logo there, but who knows what copyright stuff is on that. But yeah, here's our season lab. Okay, so you can pick your team. There's the Jaguars. Okay. Denver. Let's do. Where's my Broncos? There they are. Yeah, so okay. There's their whole season. Now, did this include preseason? Does not look like it. Okay. And I'm not sure what's going on with the to be determined there. I don't know if those are like possible flex games, but let's just do this real quick. Oh, they're going to beat the Chiefs. Jaguars, it's a home game, so we'll win. Los Angeles Rams, home game. Ooh, I'm going to give home game as a win because it's at home. 49ers, I'll say we'll win. We'll lose to the Chargers at home. It's division rival. Seahawks, there's a lot of turnover after Super Bowl hangover. We'll win. Cardinals will win. Chiefs, we'll sweep the Chiefs this year. Carolina Panthers, we'll call that a win. Raiders will win. Steelers, we'll call that a win. Dolphins, definitely a win. Same with the Jets. Raiders, man, it looks like an easy schedule for the Broncos this year. Buffalo Bills, we'll call that one a loss. That's although we did beat them in the playoffs. New England Patriots, we're going to call that one a dub because we got to get some revenge. And we will call this Chargers last game of the season because we're sitting our starters. A loss. And so that puts the Broncos at a 14-3 record according to my thing. So let's hit the reset. Boom, reset it. Cool, kind of cool. So that one's good. So division realignment. Okay. Oof, that map of America. Not so good. We'll have to work on that. And I really don't like, I was picturing like these would stay within the map, like these borders. So that's kind of ugly. I'm not liking that. Like the boundary should fill up like the whole entire map and then the borders should touch each other type of thing. I like the key there. And we got a list over here. Oh, and we have to use this drop down to change what they're in. I don't like that. Like I want to drag and drop. That's what I want to do. And it doesn't look like we can. And like maybe we should have an empty column over here. So like unassigned. Maybe we should have an unassigned pool that we can drop them into, and that way you kind of start from scratch and build it out. Is what I'm thinking. But it's kind of nifty. I like it. And another thing I was thinking we can add to it is maybe we can make our own custom power rankings. And maybe there's some filters you can set there with like what statistics you feel are important to build out power rankings. But not bad for, we didn't give it a whole lot of detail. So this is definitely some AI slop here. But user interface, I think it just went with the easiest. And that's probably why it did it pretty fast. But overall, not bad, And yeah, so that's kind of that. We'll tell you what we'll do next episode. We'll kind of fine tune those stuff and maybe even add the power rankings portion and kind of get those apps looking a little bit better. That our NFL app, so just Funsies app. And so we'll go with that, and I'll probably wrap this one up. But just remember, visit somedudescoffeeshop.com. If you like our content, support us. Grab a bag of coffee, grab a mug. We got all sorts of, we got single source blends. We got regular or single source coffees, and we got all sorts of different blends. So make us your go-to for your coffee. We'd be very appreciative, and we'll continue this adventure on and keep building. Hope you all take care and stay safe.